Good morning students. Welcome to online classes of PLIC. So in yesterday's class we have seen about the introductory part of your low pass RC circuit. Okay. So I hope you are all clear with this low pass RC circuit. What is actually a low pass RC circuit? The circuit which is used to transmit only low frequency signals and attenuates or stops your high frequency signals is called as your low pass RC circuit. In that one we have seen very first one is a sinusoidal signal. Means if the input voltage is sinusoidal, then what will be the expression? If you are applying the input voltage over here as a sinusoidal signal, so how will be the output at that side? So for that one we have seen the condition of your low pass RC circuit. So at 0 frequency or F is equals to 0, the capacitor is the reactance of the capacitor is infinity, so that the entire input whatever is given, that will be shown at the output side. So whatever the input you have given over here, that will be output. So V0 of t will be equals to Vi of t, when the condition should be that your frequency F is equals to 0. In case the frequency has been increased, then it will be acting as an short circuit, so no input will be given as the output, so your output V of t will be equals to 0. So when your input frequency is equals to 0, your gain is also high. So as the frequency increases, the capacitive reactance decreases, and so that the output would also be decreasing. So at the higher frequency, the capacitor virtually acts as a short circuit and the output falls to 0. Means there is no output or the output is equals to 0, or no input whatever we have applied can't be seen at the output side. So now V of t is equals to 0, and obviously your gain will also be equals to 0. So in that one we have seen the first condition when we are applying a sinusoidal signal. Okay, this was your sinusoidal signal. So here we have given, and because we are not having any like a lower cutoff region, because it is completely going down to 0, your output will be 0. So the upper cutoff frequency will be at 0.707. Okay, and the last equation, that is which is very important, that the gain is given as your A is equals to 1 by under root of 1 plus F by F2 whole square, and the angle theta by which output leads to the input, at the angle at which your output is equals to the input, that is given as tan inverse of F by F2. So before moving on to the next topic, that is step voltage, I would like to show the input voltage what we have given, because yesterday it was missing. So I think you might be somewhat bit confused about that. I'll show you the equation of that one. Seema, this is the sinusoidal input. Yesterday which it was missed, I haven't shown you. If the input signal is sinusoidal signal, then your expression should be given as Vi of t is equals to Vm into sine omega t. So this is the signal. To that one you have to apply the Laplace transform, and you have to apply KVL or Kirchhoff's voltage law around the particular circuit. You have seen the RC circuit. Okay, so what you are doing, this is the input voltage Vi of t is equals to Vm sine omega t. Here we have to use the Laplacian transform and analyze the circuit in S domain, since there is no charge on the capacitor. Now we can ignore the initial conditions and can define the transfer function as directly V0 f divided by Vi of s. And when your complete circuit, like your output is complete the input. So Vi of s is equals to I of s of R plus 1 by Sc, because we are defining this in the S domain. So this is the condition how you are getting the output. So I of s, now the current is equals to, now I am just interchanging over here, Vi of s divided by R of 1 plus 1 by S into RC. This is resistor and your capacitor in terms of S domain. Okay, now V0 of s is equals to I of s divided by Sc. Now combining these two equations, what you will be getting? So what is the transfer function we have got? V0 of s divided by V of s. Okay, when you are defining the transfer function, this is your output. So now I am combining these equations and substituting the values of V0 of s and Vi of s. Then I will be getting the answer as 1 by 1 plus S of RC. Okay, just go through this equation, substitute these equations, then you will get the answer like this. Okay, so this is how you will be getting. Now you can write this equation, okay, complete in the transfer function. So by applying this function, lastly you will be getting this formula: A is equals to 1 by under root of f plus f by f2 whole square, and the angle at which you will be getting your output leads to the input, that is your theta is equals to tan inverse of f by f2, and f2 is equals to 1 by 2 pi rc. Okay, this is the equations. So by employing all these equations, v naught of t is equals to, what is Vm now? A into Vm sin omega t plus theta. So there has a phase angle theta which is negative. This means that output voltage V naught of t lags behind the input voltage Vi of t by an phase angle of theta. The gain falls to 0.70 of its low frequency value at the frequency f2. Hence f2 is called as your upper 3D frequency. This one, your frequency, this f2 frequency is called as your upper 3 dB frequency. Keep in mind this one. F is the frequency and f2 is the upper 3 dB frequency. Okay, if the gain falls to 0.70 of its lower frequency, because when you are increasing the frequency, you'll be having some upper cutoff frequency, and that particular frequency is called as your upper 3D frequency, and that is denoted by frequency f2. That is already shown in the figure properly. Now the next one we are going to see is your step voltage input. First we have applied sinusoidal voltage, okay, continuous voltage. Now we are applying the step voltage. I hope now you are clear with this sinusoidal input voltage. So for the first one I have shown over there, like how you got the input voltage Vi of t is equals to Vm sin omega t. Okay, then applying the Laplace transform, how you got the equations, and the transfer function of the gain A is equals to V naught s by Vi of s, and we have got these equations, and we have substituted the values, and we have got this value over here, and the upper cutoff frequency is given by 1 by root 2, and the value for that one is 0.70. That is all over, given over here, and you have substituted the values over here. Okay, fine, and you have got the value of gain as well as the theta. Okay, now we are going to see the next function, that is your step voltage. Okay, what is the step signal? First, step signal is the one which maintains the value 0 for all the times when your time is less than 0. That is, t is less than is equals to 0, then your output will be 0, or V of t is equals to 0, and maintains the value V for all the times when t is greater than 0. So the transition between these two voltages or two voltage levels takes place at t is equals to 0 and is accomplished in any arbitrary small time intervals. So that is we have given over here. See here, this is your step signal. I will show the equation also. Okay, Vi is equals to 0 immediately before t is equals to 0, that is to be referred, and Vi is equals to V, or the input voltage, immediately when t is equals to 0. This is to be also be referred for the positive value. In the low pass RC circuit, which we have already seen, the low pass RC circuit, if the capacitor is initially uncharged, this is the condition. So before we move on to the condition, let's just see how it will be looked. What is the step voltage? The step voltage, mathematically, whatever I have told here is the step size is 1, which maintains the value 0 for all the times t less than 0. Here what I have given, for V of t is equals to 0 for t is less than 0, and V of t is equals to capital V for t or greater than or equals to 0. So the response of this circuit is already given here. I will explain this circuit also. Since the capacitor voltage cannot change instantaneously, the output starts from the 0 and raise towards a steady state voltage. This capital V is the steady state voltage. Okay. Now see here. So first what we are saying, initially what we have said here, since the capacitor voltage cannot change instantaneously, whenever you are applying some voltage, suddenly it can't charge or discharge. If your capacitor is not charged, suddenly it can't go on charging, it can't raise immediately. So it takes some time for that one, correct? So here also, if the capacitor is initially uncharged, when you are applying a particular step, since the voltage across the capacitor cannot change instantaneously, the output will be 0 at t is equals to 0. And then as capacitor charges slowly, the output voltage rises exponentially towards a steady state voltage V with a time constant RC, which is already shown over here. See, what is the first condition what you are giving? If the capacitor is uncharged, there's consider the condition is your capacitor is having no charge, and now I am applying my step voltage over there. So whenever I apply the step voltage there, so then automatically it should start charging, right? But what happens, this capacitor cannot change instantaneously. It takes some time for that one. So what is the output you will be getting? Obviously 0. Even though if you are applying the step voltage there, you will be getting output voltage will be 0 because it won't change immediately, right? So, and then as capacitor charges slowly, when the capacitor starts charging, then the voltage will be rising exponentially. See here, now the voltage will be rising exponentially. When t is equals to 0, first what we have taken first, we have given the charge over here. Time t, it is 0 voltage only, and after again some time we have given for that one. At that time it has started slowly charging, and the output will be raising towards a steady state voltage. So here I am giving the steady state voltage, and this is the time over here on the x-axis. So after some time, then here it starts charging. Okay, then it will be moving towards the steady state voltage, then slow on it will be exponentially moving towards this steady state voltage. So this is how it will be working. Fine. So the response of that particular circuit when step size or your step input is given as V naught of t is equals to V of 1 minus e to the power of minus t by RC. Okay, so the expression of the voltage across the capacitor of an RC circuit when you are giving the step input as the input voltage, then it is given as V naught of t is equals to V final minus V final minus V initial of e power minus t by RC. So that we have taken in the common. So if the capacitor is initially uncharged, so the expression can be given as, this is a particular expression, the output or the output equation for the step voltage input. Okay, what are the output equation of for a low pass RC circuit when your step input or voltage is given as V naught of t is equals to V of 1 minus e to the power of minus t by RC. So this is how you will be getting your expression for the voltage, output voltage, when your step input is given as the input voltage. Correct? So for this one, I hope you are clear with this one. Now move on to the next topic, that is your expression for the rise time. What is actually the rise time? Rise time is defined as the time it takes the voltage to rise from 0.1 to 0.9 of its final value. It gives an indication of how fast your circuit can respond to it discontinuously in an voltage. So suppose if I take the time required for the output voltage to reach 1/10 of its final value is readily found to be 0.1 RC, and time taken to reach 9th tenths or the last values or the final values, then it is 2.2 RC. So the difference between these two values is called as your rise time of that particular circuit. I'll repeat it once again. What is rise time actually? Rise time is defined as the time taken to the voltage to rise from 0.9 to 0.1 to 0.9. I'll show in that graph also. This one, this part, this is your rise time, the time which is taking from this part 0.1 to 0.9. From here to here you have reached, you will get this particular time. So your initial value from which it is charged to the final value, to reach to the final value completely charging of the capacitor, you require some particular time or time is taken. That particular time is called as your rise time. I'll repeat it once again, please do note it down. The rise time is defined as a time it takes to the voltage to rise from here 0.1 to 0.9 of its final value. Okay, this is called as your rise time, and it gives an indication that how fast the circuit can respond to the discontinuity in voltage. So by seeing this one, we can say that how fast your circuit is going to respond. For this much time it is going to increase this much voltage, for this much time it is going to increase this much voltage. So if there is any discontinuity in increasing or any voltage also, we can easily find out by using this one. So the time required for the voltage V naught of t, or the output voltage V naught of t, to reach 1/10 of its final value is readily found as 0.1. So 1/10 means at the initial point of this one. So if you are having 10 units over here, if the first unit is 1/10, if I consider, so the time required for the output voltage to reach from here, or from 1/10 of the part, or 0.1 RC, and the time to reach 9/10 of its final value. 9/10 means 9/10, this part. So time taken, or the time to time required from to reach from this voltage to 0.9 voltage, the difference between these two voltage of is the rise time TR of that particular circuit. So from 0.1 it is 0.1 RC, and time to reached from here to here it is 2.2 RC. Okay, so the difference between these two voltages, these two times, is called as your which time? The rise time, and the expression R, it is denoted as TR. So as I have said that TR, rise time, is equals to T2 minus T1. T2 is the time when you are going up the upper value, last value. T1 is your slower value, so it is given as 2.2 RC. So TR is equals to 2.2 RC, or you can also write it as 2.2 divided by 2 pi F2, or you can also make it as 0.35 divided by F2. So your rise time TR is given as 2.2 tau, or you can also give it as 2.2 RC. So the rise time is proportional to the time constant tau and inversely proportional to the upper 3 dB frequency. As I have already said, TR is equals to 0.35 divided by F2, or you can also make it as 2.2 divided by 2 pi F2. I'll give the notes of this one so that you can people do very easily. I'll explain over here itself also. Once again we'll revise this. When a step signal is applied, the rise time TR is defined as the time taken by the output voltage waveform to rise from 10% to the 90% of its final value. As I have already said that one part, or we can give it as 1/10 of its final value, 1/10 to the 9/10 of its final value, like 1/10 to the 9/10, or you can also say it in the simple words, 10% to the 90% of its final value. So it gives an indication of how fast your circuit is going to perform, or it will respond to the discontinuity in the voltage. In case of any discontinuity in the in your voltage, so it is going to respond you immediately. So for that one, initially uncharged condition, if the capacitor is uncharged, the output of the voltage will be given as, at the instant time, will be given as V naught of t is equals to V into 1 minus e to the power of minus t by RC. This is the first condition, and I am considering t is equals to t1 and V naught is equal V naught of t is equals to 10%. That means your first part. Here if you consider at this percent, this is a 10%, this is a 90%. So time required for the voltage to reach from 10% to the 90%, that is called as your rise time. So I am considering this first part, t is a t1 here, and here you are considering t2, correct? So if you go on to that one, at t is equals to t1, voltage V naught of t, output voltage is, now what is the output voltage we have got? Because it is firstly in it is not charged, your capacitor is not charged. If you are applying the voltage also, it takes some time to charge directly. So the first is only 10% of charge is done. So your output voltage V naught of t is equals to 10% of your V. So that is given as 0.1 V. So here substitute these values into the given equation. 0.1 V is equals to V into 1 minus e to the power of, what is t value over here ma? T1. So e to the power of minus t1 divided by RC. Now e to the power of minus t1 divided by RC is equals to 0.9. I am substituting over this one, correct? You can move on to the left hand side, do the subtraction, 1 minus 0.9, then you get 0.9, or else you can also write it as e to the power of t1 divided by RC is equals to 1 by 0.9, which gives you 1.11. So T1 is equals to RC into log of 1.11, or else you can give the first value T1 is equals to 0.1 RC. Similarly you apply T is equals to T2 and your output voltage is 90%. What we have said, time taken for the output voltage waveform to rise from 10% to 90%. What is the 90% here? At this value. So the output voltage over here is 0.9 volts. Correct. Now apply T is equals to T2 in this equation. Okay, in this particular equation, your T value is equals to T2, as well as your output value. What is the output? V naught of T is equals to 90%. So 0.9 V is equals to V of 1 minus e to the power of T2 minus T2 divided by RC. Similarly, you will be getting as 2.3 RC. So what is the rise time? TR is equals to T2 minus T1. The upper limit minus lower limit. We can also say it like that. So output will be 2.2 RC. So this indicates that the rise time TR is proportional to the time constant RC of the circuit. The larger the time constant, the slower the capacitor charges. And the slower the time constant, the faster the capacitor charges. So by seeing this rise time, this value, we can say that how fast your capacitor is charging, or the capacitor is charging slowly. So depending upon this time, we can see it. So I hope you are clear with these two topics, step voltage as well as your rise time. Now just see, I have already told directly that you will be having TR is equals to 0.35 divided by F2. What is F2? It is upper 3 dB frequency. So we have to see the relationship between the rise time as well as your upper 3 dB frequency. We know that the upper 3 dB frequency is same as the bandwidth of your low pass filter, because there is no lower cutoff frequency over there. Correct? We have discussed in the last lab when you have seen the low pass circuit. Fine, ma? So thus the rise time is inversely proportional to the upper 3 dB. It is directly proportional, this one. Here the rise time TR is directly proportional to the time constant RC. So what we are saying, if the time constant is larger, the capacitor charges slowly, and the smaller the time constant, the capacitor charges faster. Here the time constant T is equals to RC of a circuit is defined as a time taken by the output to rise to 63.2 of the amplitude of the input step. So it is same as the time taken of the output to rise the 100% of the amplitude of the input step, if the initial slope is maintained, or the initial slope of the rise is maintained. Okay. So here we can see that the rise time TR, F2 is equals to 1 by 2 pi RC, or RC is equals to 1 by 2 pi F2. Now what I am doing, I am substituting this RC value over here. In this rise time TR is equals to 2.2 RC is there. I am having the relationship between your rise time as well as your upper 3 dB frequency. That is nothing but TR as well as F2. So what is actually F2 formula? 1 by 2 pi RC. So I am substituting this F2 over here, just replacing over there. So your RC is equals to 1 by 2 pi F2. So what is your RC, where you can substitute TR value? So TR is equals to 2.2 into 1 by 2 pi F2. Yes or no? So if you cancel this one, okay, here, so you will be getting the answer as 0.35 divided by F2, or you can also given as rise time TR is equals to 0.35 divided by the bandwidth. So this is the relationship between the rise time as well as the upper 3 dB limits. So these are the three small topics that we have discussed today in the class. First we have seen the sinusoidal input voltage, how it is given for a low pass RC circuit, what is the input voltage. Then we have seen the step voltage input. Then we have gone through the rise time. Okay, the time taken for the voltage to rise from 10% to the 90%. Then we have seen your relationship between your rise time as well as the upper 3 dB limit. So I hope you are clear with these topics. In next class we will see the pulse input. Okay. So let's just end the class today here itself. I hope you are all watching the class. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. Watch the classes carefully. Fine. Thank you.